In the morning when I leave my den, I moisturize with the tears of men. Stir my tea with a crucifix. I'm an ugly, nasty, call me bitch.
This was also sent to my parents' house. I could not read the postmark, but it was written the 21st of March. Dear Kirsten, I feel awkward writing this letter, and I thought I would never mail it, but here it is. I have been feeling like I needed to organize my thoughts and feelings about why I have pursued you, so I can better understand why I embarked on such an unrealistic adventure. My first topic: when did my attraction to you begin? That has to be about 6 years ago, when Cheryl and I were helping you move out of your house in the ward. That being said, it was not a romantic attraction. Cheryl and I were happy together, and had been for many years. I never entertained any wandering thoughts. I don't remember precisely what I noticed about you, but it was that you were not quite like most women. There was something exceptional about you, and I felt concerned about how you were doing, but I couldn't give it a name. As I write this, I seem to remember having similar feelings when I met Cheryl 51 years ago at BYU. I never thought about that meeting again, but occasionally, though rarely, when your name came up in some conversation, the memory of that first meeting with the memory of that exceptional feeling returned. Along with that memory came the concerned feeling that I hoped you were happy and doing well. I don't remember anyone other than Cheryl mentioning your name, but when she did, she frequently said that you were a kindred spirit. To me, that was the highest praise she could have given you. I know what a great woman Cheryl was, and I knew that if she thought you were a kindred spirit, you must indeed be a great woman also. I'm not saying that both of you have the same personality. You each have different talents, preferences, and abilities, but confessing that my knowledge of you is too limited to justify my dedication to your happiness, it seems that you both desire truth, honesty, fairness, courtesy, and have a drive to make the world a better place, and yourself a better person in it. Witnessing or experiencing any abuse or unfairness hurts you deeply. I also have the feeling that, like Cheryl, you feel hurt that other people don't appreciate you for who you are. Now, Kirsten, I hope that nothing I write here hurts your feelings. I'm doing the best I can as a man who is largely ignorant about how he feels to express the unexpected feelings that I have had for you this last month. I want to recognize and honor your feelings, not add to your burdens. And I don't want you to think that I am just an old man grieving and moping over the loss of my lifelong companion. Sure, I miss her greatly, but as she instructed me, I need to move on in life. Page 2. The next time I saw you, it was the day you delivered your painting of Cheryl. I felt comfortable around you, like someone I knew well, even though I didn't, still don't. I felt like you were an old friend of long acquaintance, not like someone I hadn't seen in 6 years. I knew Cheryl loved you and would be most unhappy if I didn't bring you to the window so she could see you one last time and thank you for that I've run out of adjectives, gift, not only from a talented artist, but from the only kindred spirit. I had to stop here and dry my eyes. And I have never been known to be an emotional man. She has known in her life. She has been so lonely not having anyone who really understood her. My intellectual understanding and support was a great comfort and help to her, but it's not like someone who feels her spirit. To see you again, even if only through the window, when she longed to hug you to her bosom, and to receive such a gift from you, a kindred spirit, was, I think, one of the greatest blessings of her life. I will never tire of thanking you for that gift of yourself. But there's more. I'm going through a lot of tissues here, no matter which one of you I'm writing about. Cheryl has been thinking that she needed a photograph for the memorial. Having you show up the next day told her that Jesus knew her heart and her needs, and that he inspired you, her kindred spirit, to meet one of her last needs on earth. Wow, he knows us better than we know ourselves. No one but you could have met that need for her and given her another confirmation that Christ knows and loves her. And for me, knowing as you wrote that you felt uncomfortable, as we often do when following a prompting, painting the picture, but that you still painted it beautifully as you always do, tells me something about you. Who else but a person who is sensitive to the Spirit of the Lord would undertake such a task, to paint a picture of someone she hasn't seen in 6 years and deliver it at just the right time? Only you, Kirsten. You listened when the Spirit spoke. It comes as no surprise to me, though it probably does to you, that I can't help but be attracted to you, a kindred spirit of the woman I've loved and nurtured for 50 years. But it's no surprise that men have been attracted to younger women. And every man in his right mind knows that a beautiful young woman are seldom attracted to men who are 26 years older than themselves, though it does happen. Wendy Watson was 26 years old, or was 26 years younger than Russell M. Nelson when he was an apostle. Lauren Bacall married Humphrey. Wendy Watson was 26 years younger than Russell M. Nelson, but then he was an apostle. Lauren Bacall married Humphrey Bogart, who was 25 years older, but then he was the most famous actor of his time. Other older men have, of course, married much younger women who were after their money. I'm well insured and financially stable, but not wealthy enough to attract any gold diggers. Not that I would want one. Page 3. So what would inspire a man who is older, not tall, dark, and handsome, not wealthy, not a Don Juan romantic, and not athletic, but I stay in shape, I can still do more pull-ups than my sons, to open his feelings to that beautiful young woman? Well, I was reluctant. Fearful is probably the more appropriate word to do so, but then I couldn't get you off my mind. All the time, it seems. I tried to ignore the irrational feelings, but I couldn't. I questioned whether it was inspiration or I was just enamored with the rare woman that you are. I know I want the best and don't think I can be happy with anyone less. I can't say for sure that it's inspiration. I think it is. But I do know for sure is that if I don't try, nothing's going to happen. You know, fools rush in. But there was another thought that kept coming to my mind. I realized that I didn't know enough about you, and I desperately wanted and needed to know more about you. So I read everything I could online, and as I read, I certainly saw your virtues and quality as I expected I would. But, and I hope I don't open old wounds here, because I care so much for you. I was also deeply hurt by the challenges you've endured, and mostly by the hurt you've suffered at the hands of men who should have loved and nurtured you, who should have honored and served you, who should have honored their covenants and helped you be the best woman that you could be. I could say a lot more about this, but it's a topic for a face to face conversation, not a written letter. I have The Happiest Girl in the Whole USA on my playlist, and whenever I hear it, I always say to myself, that's how I want my wife to feel, and it's my job to make her feel that way. As those feelings of sadness for the way you were treated arose in me, I realized how blessed I have been to have Cheryl as my wife. I didn't say much about it in my memorial service eulogy, but she was willing to die, really, no exaggeration here, rather than quit on her commitment to me. And I nearly drove her to it. More tissues here. But her extreme patience and love toward me changed my heart and my behavior. Our Savior had a lot to do with that heart changing. He probably did it all. Cheryl's continuing coaching, teaching, and patience taught me, I'm sure I'm not finished yet, how to love and nurture her. By giving that love and nurturing her, I learned what a superior woman she was and how blessed I was to have the opportunity to serve her. I hadn't planned to write too much about Cheryl, but find that I must in order to tell you about me. She and the Lord have made me the man I am. I will be eternally grateful to both of them. I didn't know what a gem she was when I married her. None of us really know the person we marry until we lived with them for years, but I felt she was the right woman for me, and thankfully she had a spiritual confirmation that I was the right man for her, even though she knew from the start that I had serious problems. I will be forever grateful that the Lord gave her that confirmation, and I've tried to be worthy of it. Page 4. Kirsten. I write all this because it is the prelude to the second reason that I have been pursuing you. It can hardly be called courting since I've only talked to you once in 6 years. I'm desperate to not insult or hurt your feelings here. More tissues. I don't want to hurt you. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim inspiration here, but I have felt for days on end that perhaps you are still feeling those old hurts, and that you can only be healed, with the Lord's help, of course, by a man who knows from long experience how to treat a woman who has been hurt so much. I can't tell you in writing how much Cheryl was emotionally hurt, used, and abused, not sexually, in her youth. But the Lord puts people in our path who can help us heal, grow, and progress. He gave Cheryl to me, and with his blessings and guidance, we helped each other heal. I am thrilled that she died a healed, loved, and nurtured woman, and that I was privileged to be the man whom she and the Lord allowed to love and nurture her. I have felt that perhaps I was prepared and put in your path for you. No pride or conceit here, Kirsten. I've known all along that I'm not much competition for a younger man, and that you may already have one who treats you right, who will love and nurture you. I can accept that. I'm not that dumb. Maybe I'm just Twitter pated, as Thumper and Bambi would say, but maybe there's some other reason for my actions. If so, I hope it's to bless your life, not to add another burden, nor do I state my feelings for you as inspiration for any action on your part. You've proven that you are entitled to and capable of receiving your own inspiration. I would never presume to tell anyone that I had received a revelation for them. As an example, Cheryl had a very difficult time with her third child, and both me and the doctors thought she would die at a fourth, but she knew that there was another child to come to our family, and I trusted her inspiration, and she did it. I still want to see your paintings at the Main Street Gallery and at the store live instead of just online toward the end of the week, but I will try to stay out of your way to avoid any awkward interactions, Kirsten. After finishing this one last letter, I decided it might bless your life if I sent it. I've written some things that I suspect you didn't know about. Some things that you won't hear in Relief Society, but that would be supportive for you to hear. I don't expect you to respond, but I will be very, very happy if this letter leaves you feeling the way every woman should feel. I am a wonderful woman. I am lovable. Heavenly Father loves me. There are trustworthy men who can love me. I deserve to be loved, honored, and nurtured. Much love, always your friend forever, and thank you for blessing my life, Garrett. I mean, this man has had an entire relationship with me, completely one sided, in the matter of weeks, all going on in his head, without any input from me whatsoever.